So in this video, we're gonna walk you through how to enter recovery mode for iPhone. If you don't already know, recovery mode is one of those advanced steps you can use to fix a number of iPhone issues, like if it's stuck on the Apple logo screen or if it's crashing after a recent update. Even though this might seem a little more complicated than other troubleshooting methods, we'll break it all down step by step along the way. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, what exactly is recovery mode? Basically, it's a way to use a computer to access a special menu to either reinstall iOS on an iPhone that's giving you some major problems or reset it completely. This can help you out because depending on the issue, you might not be able to use your iPhone like you normally would. So this gives you a chance to update or erase it without having to start the process on the phone itself. Also, sometimes an update might be all you need to solve the problem. We recommend only going into recovery mode after you tried some easier fixes first, and we'll give you a list of some to try later on in this video. So before we move on, it's good to know that when you go into recovery mode, you'll be given a menu with two options to choose from. The first is Update, which will install the latest version of iOS on your phone. Then there's Restore, which will completely erase all your personal data and reset your phone back to how it was when it was new out of the box. So just keep that in mind when you see those two options come up, since you don't want to hit Restore unless you really mean to. So most times you'll probably want to use the Update option first to see if it fixes your problem, and only use Restore as a last resort unless you need to wipe your phone before selling or trading it in. Alright, so some problems that you might want to use recovery mode for is if your phone is crashing, if it can't load past the startup screen, if something went wrong during an iOS update, if your iPhone is charged but the screen is completely black, or if your computer can't recognize it when it's plugged in. Recovery mode is usually a fix for software-based problems, so that means that if your phone was ran over by a car and your camera stopped working, this might not be your fix, but you're free to give it a try anyways. So let's get into what you'll need to get into recovery mode. Of course, you will need your iPhone nearby, a computer, and a cord to connect your iPhone to the computer. That will probably be either one that uses Lightning or USB-C, depending on what model iPhone you have and the ports on your computer. On that note, be sure to double check that your computer has the latest version of Windows or Mac OS, just in case it hasn't been updated for a while. And now let's get to the fun part, actually putting your iPhone into recovery mode. So there are two steps where the instructions change based on the computer and iPhone you're using, and I'll be sure to point these out as we go along. So first, connect the iPhone to your computer using the USB-C or Lightning cable you have. You might get a pop-up on your phone asking if you want to trust your computer. If you do, just hit accept before moving forward. So for the next steps, we're gonna take the iPhone and hit a combination of 2 to 3 buttons to get into recovery mode. So I'll show you how to do this for iPhones 8 and up, but if you have an iPhone 7 or 6, here are the button combinations you should use. So feel free to pause the video here before you move on to the next step. Okay, so for iPhone 8 and newer, you'll want to quickly press and release the volume up button, press and release the volume down button, and then press and hold down on the side button. Don't let go. You'll want to keep holding for about 20 to 30 seconds until the connect to computer screen pops up. And if your iPhone ends up restarting instead of going into recovery mode, just do the button sequence one more time. Okay, so the connect to computer screen should have popped up, and now we're going to turn our attention to the computer. So if you're using a computer with Mac OS Catalina or later, you'll want to make your way over to the Finder window. But if you have an older Mac or a Windows PC, you'll need to pull up iTunes or the Apple Devices app. So around this time, you might get a window on your computer screen asking if you'd like to connect an accessory. So if you do, go ahead and accept it. Alright, so if you see this window right here, it means you're in recovery mode. And you might notice the two options we discussed earlier, Update or Restore. As a reminder, Update will reinstall iOS without deleting your data, and Restore will wipe everything and reinstall iOS from scratch. And typically you'll want to try updating before doing a complete restore. But if you're at the point where you do need to restore, try backing up your data first if you can. So both options will take about 10 to 20 minutes. So just keep your iPhone connected to your computer until it's finished. And that's pretty much it. Now, what do you do if you put your iPhone into recovery mode, but you got cold feet and you want to get out of it without having to do an update or restore? All you have to do is hit the same button sequence you used to get into it, and your phone should do a restart and return you back to the home screen. And say if you went through these steps and you couldn't get into recovery mode, double check if your cable is connected correctly to both your phone and your computer, and maybe try swapping it for another one. You can also try restarting your computer and checking if macOS, Windows, iTunes, or the Apple Devices app is up to date. At this point, if updating and restoring your phone hasn't solved your problem and you're running out of options, we recommend reaching out to your carrier or the company that made your phone to see if they can get to the bottom of your problem. But you also might feel like it's time for a new phone, and Navi can help you out with our phone deal finder. By answering a few questions about what you're looking for, we'll help you compare all the best deals on the smartphone you want. And if you're looking for a new network, Navi's Plan Finder can help you there too. By using our Plan Finder, you can compare plans from all the top carriers so you can find the one that best fits your needs. Links to both will be in the description. Okay, so hopefully this video helped you out, and if anything, it's a reminder that it's good to back up your phone at least every few weeks in case something ever goes wrong. Also, if you want to try some easier fixes before going into recovery mode, check out this video here. Okay, talk to you next time.